Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'm James Salvatore, and today I have the 2021 Lincoln Navigator Black Label. Now this one's pretty cool because this represents the very best of what Lincoln's offering these days, seeing that this is their flagship vehicle. And in today's video, I'm going to go through the vehicle talking about features, and then I'm going to take it for a drive and share my opinions on it with you. But before we get into things, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos. On the channel, I do new car reviews, new car comparisons, classics, exotics. So if that's your thing, stick around. With that, let's get right into it. With the extensive updates to the Lincoln Navigator a few years ago, Lincoln made a statement to the world of the future of their brand. Since then, everything else they have produced has followed this positive trend. The Black Label Navigator comes in two sizes, the standard and long wheelbase, this being the long wheelbase. The Black Label is set apart with three distinct themes. On the interior, this one has the destination theme, but there's also the Yacht Club theme and the Chalet theme available as well. It's powered by a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that produces 450 horsepower and 510 foot-pounds of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission with four-wheel drive. The EPA estimates that the Navigator will get 16 miles per gallon in the city and 20 on the highway for a combined of 17, and it can tow up to 8,300 pounds. When it comes to design, I think Lincoln's done a pretty good job at making themselves stand apart from the competition. Now go with me on this. Not a lot of vehicles look like this. It definitely looks distinct when you see one on the road. This just has a very bold look to it, and I like it, and it's menacing because it's so big. And I think another area where Lincoln design is kind of standing apart from other brands is I like how they put all the names of the vehicles on the side now. And moving around to the back, the bold design continues. In my opinion, compared to the Escalade, I think that this has a much nicer design with the single LED running across the entire back. And one cool thing is when you're walking up to the car at night, any Lincoln now, when you're about 20 feet away, all the LEDs come on to kind of greet you, which I think is pretty cool. And you have about 67 cubic feet of cargo storage. And with the tap of a button, the third row and the second row of seats goes down in just a few seconds. Hopping into the interior now, as you can see, let's just pay attention to the build quality and materials used. So overall, I'd say that they are very nice. The seats, nice and soft to the touch. You can see the dashboard, they've used nice high-end leather. Over here they have this textured material, and the wood does look really nice, and you can see you have the Lincoln embossed into the grain there, which is really cool. They have the aluminum speaker grills for the Revel audio system, which I can attest to it being actually very good. And then moving on to the tech, you can see that for the driver's information center, we have a 12-inch display. It is configurable dependent on the drive mode selector, so you have a few different modes. Moving on to the center screen, it is a 10-inch screen, and it's pretty responsive. Most likely you'll be using Apple CarPlay, which is wired in this car. The stock software isn't bad, but again, not many people do use it nowadays. You could see here, this is your 360-degree camera. Definitely one of the weak points of this car. It definitely needs to be updated. Down here you have wireless charging conveniently placed, and I do like that they kept physical buttons for the climate control, and they've made them very easy and simple to read. A lot of brands are getting annoying with that, and you do have a trailer brake in this car, which is cool because it actually can tow a good amount. Like say if you have a boat or a family camper or something. And another feature to point out in this, and you've probably seen a million commercials about their seats, but their seats do have a lot of adjustability. You hit the button here and you do have massage seats. They don't separate any programs, it's just an intensity here, but you do have a lot of adjustability for the bolstering of the seat. Getting into the back of the Navigator, it's super comfortable back here. As you can see, I have plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom, and there's just plenty of space to spread out overall. And you also get 4-zone climate control. And just take a look at here at the panoramic sunroof. It really is large. It doesn't stretch the entire vehicle, but with the vehicle this long, you wouldn't expect it to. Getting into the back, into the third row, I wasn't really expecting to fit too well back here, but you know, it's not super comfortable for somebody my size, but it's definitely doable. And one nice feature is you do have USB-C ports in the back, which is pretty neat. And you can recline the seats back and forth. But enough talking about it. Let's go out for a drive. All right, first impressions getting into the Black Label Navigator are good. You know, the sound deadening in here is great. You do have the double glazed windows like in a lot of other luxury cars. I like that they did not cheap out there. The sound isolation is definitely good. It's a quiet and relaxed environment. And as you look down the hood, you really do get a sense of how large this vehicle is. I mean, it feels massive, which for some people that might be a little intimidating, I won't lie. But for me, I like it. I like feeling like I'm very large on the road, very commanding. And one of the things I forgot to mention earlier is you do get a very nice heads-up display in here. You get a readout on the time, speed limit, miles per hour, as well as, you know, cruise control functions as well and nav functions. Very nicely done heads-up display. And the Revel audio system is definitely one of the highlights of this vehicle. Not only do you get the nice aluminum speaker grills, but I mean the sound is just definitely something that stands out from a lot of other vehicles I review. I guess we'll throw it into Excite mode just to see, you know, how much of an adjustment there is. Right away you can see that the gauge cluster has changed a little bit. We'll see if there's really any additional response. Yeah, I would say it definitely picks up a bit more. I take back what I said earlier about it not being quick. Still has 450 horsepower, but we'll throw this back into normal mode. If I had to directly compare this to a vehicle, I would say that I would put this in the category of an entry-level Mercedes GLS or a Range Rover base full size. I think they're very close in that comparison there in their emissions. Those are both not vehicles that you would look at as fast cars. They're just purely for luxury and comfort. And that's what this is. So if you're looking for that, but you want something bigger than that, this accomplishes that. You could fit 7 people in here, 7 full-grown adults, no problem at all if you wanted to. Whether you have a larger family and you have a few kids and you're just looking for that really versatile SUV, this does it. I mean, you have enough cargo space. You have plenty of room in this overall. And if you just want to take friends out for a night, this is the vehicle to do that in. It's super comfortable. It's quiet. And it's honestly more refined than any other Lincoln vehicle that I've driven in the past. And I'm very impressed at where they're going with this. The only thing that I would like to see them improve on, I won't, it's hard to phrase this. I don't want to say improve upon with the materials because they do have very nice materials in here. I just want to see a more thorough job done. I really think that they should add the option to do an extended leather interior and have the nice leather that they've used throughout the vehicle on the lower parts of the dash and the lower parts of the door cards and on the backs of the seats. I think that would be the last thing to really tie together this interior. Other than that, they've done such a spot-on job with this. And with their Black Label dealership experiences, I think that they've come a long way, especially with American brands, because a lot of the things that turn buyers from, like, you know, Land Rover and Mercedes and BMW off is the fact that, you know, a lot of American brands, like if you were to go get a Grand Wagoneer, say for instance, from Jeep, when they go give you a loaner car, they're giving you like a rental car. They're not giving you a car that's of that caliber. But Lincoln has gone a long way in upping their service game, making it so that Black Label dealerships have to pick up and drop off vehicles, and making it very convenient for you to service them. And they have to give you loaners that are of the caliber of the vehicle that you have, which is a great thing, and I'm happy to see that Lincoln stepped up there. And I think that'll do well in winning over a lot of people that are current customers of Land Rover, Mercedes, and BMW and Audi, because that's something they've been doing for years that American brands just simply don't do. Well, that wraps things up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it helped answer some of the questions you might have had. If you haven't done so yet, help me out by hitting that like button for me. It really helps with the search algorithms to help the videos get found. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on next week's post. Before I go, I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends down at Crest Lincoln of Woodbridge, Connecticut for making this video possible. They're a nice, helpful, friendly group of people to work with, and if you're in the market for a new Lincoln, be sure to check them out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for you to do so. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.